Hi, I'm Jacob Ingelsman. This is Simple and Complex, 2-ingredient recipes for the home cook, and today we are making pasta. And we're making fresh pasta out of eggs and flour. Later on in the series, we'll make pasta out of water and flour that we can dry. Your standard pasta recipe is 2 eggs for 200 grams of flour, which is equal to about 1.5 cups. Of course, that depends on the size of your egg, so it's not an exact recipe. We're just adding the eggs into the flour there, and we're going to mix until it all comes together. You can do this in a bowl, or you can just do it right on the counter if you're feeling brave. Once you get most of the liquid absorbed, if you're doing this by hand, just go ahead and get your hands in there, just like you're making bread. You can also put this same recipe in a KitchenAid or something like that, and it'll do all the work for you. Now this one seems a little dry, so I'm going to add just a little bit of water. If it's a little wet, you can go ahead and add some more flour into it, but never add more than 1 tablespoon at a time. I realize that doesn't seem like much, but a little bit can make a big difference. And once we've got everything in a nice solid mass like this, we're going to put it in an airtight container. Let it sit for at least 1 hour, overnight if you want to. You can use a Tupperware container, wrap it up in saran wrap, or just pop it in a Ziploc bag. Make sure to squeeze as much air out as you can. Now, I'm going to pop that in the fridge for a little while, and then we'll talk about how to roll it. So I've had the pasta in the fridge for several hours, and if you do decide to refrigerate the pasta dough, make sure to take it out about an hour before you want to roll it, so it'll get soft at room temperature. It won't be too hard. The first thing you're going to want to do is use your bench knife or some other knife and cut the pasta into 4 roughly equally sized pieces, just so they're more manageable to work with. And put the pieces you're not using back in the bag so they don't get oxidized. Now, form your piece of pasta into a ball. Flour your work surface and get it as flat as you can with one with your hands. Then lightly flour your rolling pin. And roll it out, giving it a quarter turn and flipping it every 10 rolls or so. If it starts to stick a little, just wipe a little flour on there. And this is going to take a little bit of a while, so I will get back to you in a few minutes. And we're back. Now, as you roll these out, you're going to want to stack them with sheets of paper towel in between. And then when you've got them all ready, go back to the bottom, take the first one out again. The glutens will have relaxed a little bit, so you'll need to roll just a little bit more to get it nice and thin again. The minimum you want is to just be able to see through it. And today we're going to do 3 different cuts of pasta, depending on how many what tools you have. You can do any one of these. The first cut we're going to do is tagliolini, which is kind of like fettuccine, but a bit of a different size. There are, of course, hundreds of different types of pasta, and many pastas have multiple names, so it can get confusing. This handy-dandy pasta cutter is fantastic, because you can just take your sheet of pasta and go right down and there we go. Go ahead and do these. In a pinch. The next one we're going to talk about is called pappardelle, which is like tagliolini in that it's a flat noodle, but pappardelle are very, very thick. And they pick up a lot of sauce. Pappardelle is really good with a hearty bolognese sauce. A good way to do this one is flour up both sides pretty good. roll your pasta. And cut it into about inch-wide sections. Which you can then just unroll. And right into the water it goes. Now, if you have no equipment at all, not even a rolling pin, you can take your lump of pasta, roll it into a little snake about a ½ inch wide, cut it into maybe 16 sections. For this one, you're going to need to wet your hands a little bit. Roll it out about 6 inches, break it in half, depending on the size of your hands, you may be doing this with one hand or two. Then when it gets to be about 1/8 of an inch wide, toss that in a little semolina or flour. Finish those up later. And that is called pisi, which means sticky because they're irregular, so again, lots of sauce stick to them very well. And then, of course, if you have a rolling machine, that just makes it all worlds easier. But yes, there we go. Episode 1 of Simple and Complex, 2-ingredient recipes for the home cook, bringing you flour and eggs to make pasta. Thank you very much.